Okay, we have it recording. Good morning and welcome to the last Zoom section of our course. Our course has gone by so fast.
Yes, it has.
Thanks for all your hard work in our course. Okay, let me move on. This is going to be a very short session. What we're going to do is we're going to look at the state standards. I'm not going through the presentations. Those are available online. And then questions and concerns. So I'm going to the basis for our change in curriculum, basically. And what they did was they graded the state standards. So they took all the states and they took a look at their standards and their scores in reading and math for the years 2003 through 2011. And then they set the grading standards. And we can see that Massachusetts ranks very high. And then if we look for Florida, we're down at 22. And North Carolina, I think, is 20. It's all the way down at 33. So that's what they did to find the high-performing states. They looked at proficiency in reading, and here's fourth grade. And we can see the states along proficiency in reading, grade 4. Florida, again, is right here in the middle in 71%. We see at the very high end, states like Kansas and Maryland. And then North Carolina is in here somewhere. Right here, right in the middle as well. Okay, so that's proficiency in reading for fourth grade. Then they looked at proficiency in math at 8th grade level. So you can see this is the statistics from 2011. And you'll notice that New Jersey is all the way up here. North Carolina is very high up on the rankings, as is Georgia. And then Florida, again, is right in the middle. So that's 8th grade. They looked at 4th grade as well. In 4th grade, Colorado was way at the top. Let's see, Florida's right in the middle. And North Carolina is kind of high up here. So that is proficiency in grade 4 math. And then they looked at science grades. Here's grade 8, grade 8. In grade 8, North Carolina is all the way up here at 75%. Florida, I think, is somewhere down here, right down here, 46, all the way down here.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Oklahoma and Ohio, New Jersey are some of the top performing states. That's according to the science standards. And then for math, grade 4. In grade 4, they looked at the international benchmarks. Now you'll notice a negative slope.
Right.
And the grading over here, you can see B, B minus, C, C minus. We have higher performing states, which are Tennessee and New Mexico. Let's see where Florida is right in the middle here. And North Carolina is somewhere.
Down in the C. Wow.
Oh, yeah, all the way down here in the C section. So this is the international benchmarks. And they did the same thing for reading. And you can see grade 4 reading. And we have all of our C's in here.
Mm-hmm.
Looking for New York is over here in the B section.
Mm-hmm.
North Carolina is in between, halfway between one end to the other.
We got a B minus, it looks like.
Okay, so it should be somewhere in here that I'm missing.
Right next to North Carolina.
Okay, right there. It's hidden in there. But again, notice the negative slope. And here's the international benchmark for grade 8 in math. And Oop. It's very hard to find anything out of the C range. You got Massachusetts and Minnesota. Let's see. Somewhere in these C's, we'll find Florida.
Florida.
Yeah, and North Carolina is somewhere.
All the way down in the D range.
Oh, goodness. That's why I wasn't finding it. All the way down here. And then look at science as well for 8th grade. And we notice again this negative slope. And we've gotten, let's see, New Jersey is all the way down here. Florida is right here in the C range. Uh-huh. And I see North Dakota. North Carolina is down here in the C range as well. And then again, if we look at 8th grade, we're looking at a little bit higher trends throughout, slightly. We've got Rhode Island and Hawaii is in here in the B range. Minnesota, Florida's right here. And North Carolina is all the way down here. Okay, they've noticed gaps between proficiency in math and the international benchmarks. They're huge. Look at Georgia and Alabama. They are huge, huge, huge gaps. This is the start of the Common Core. Look at Alabama and the rationale that they've used for Common Core. South Carolina, Utah, Oklahoma. Wisconsin is one, New Jersey is one of the higher performing states. And then again, New York is high up there. Massachusetts. That's why our standards are based on some of the ones from Massachusetts, because they are considered one of the higher performing states. So when they did the standards, they looked at these states, they looked at this data, and they looked for the higher performing states. And those are the standards that they used to develop what's now called Common Core. There was a gap between the states with the highest standards and the states with the lowest standards. It was 2 standard deviations. 2 standard deviations is huge. Yeah. It's equivalent to 3 to 4 grade levels. It's higher than any demographic gaps that we have. And the objective was to close the gaps between the higher the expectations for all states. That's the rationale behind what we have. The percentage of students declined over the last few years. For instance, Alabama went from 77 to 15. Huge. Wow. Colorado, 80 to 35. Oklahoma, 66 to 20. New Jersey, 71 to 50. These are the top scoring nations. That's why we saw Singapore in math for so long, because they were successful. So we were hoping by just taking their programs, we would be equally successful, but that didn't quite happen. And then we see some of the top scoring nations. So this is the rationale behind Common Core, some of the initiatives that resulted from that. Okay, I think that's the last slide that I have. So what I am going to do is at this point, I'm going to stop recording,